nerds, and welcome back to the Edge of the Sky. So last time we aced our test, we had a little roof time with 9, and now we are heading off to a meeting with 9. This will be Chapter 5, Crescendo. So let's go ahead and start. 9 and I step off the elevator into a hallway. We walk for a bit before 9 stops in front of an open door. Do you mind if I stop in and talk to an administrator for a moment? I just remembered there was something urgent they needed me for. Oh yeah, sure, go right ahead. 9 gives me another gentle, but somehow sheepish smile before he uses his fingerprint to step into the room. What in the world did he plot? 9 really is an important guy. Just the fact that he took time out to talk to me like he did today makes my heart feel so full. Excuse me. Someone tries to pass me in the hallway, and I swiftly step aside. This happens a few more times before I realize just how awkward it is to stand in a hallway for any longer than 30 seconds. There's nothing that can be done, though. 9 needed to handle some business. I press myself against the wall as much as possible, pull on my arrow, and turn it on. I'm done checking my messages and about to play one of my favorite games when I hear something. I'm about to ignore it when I hear it again. I turn down the sound in my aural aux and switch to my visual equalizer on my arrow. I try to find the frequency of the sound, turning everything down around me and turning the volume on the sound up. After a few moments of tinkering, I can hear it loud and clear. But I wish I had it. Is that a scream? There's no doubt about it. It was definitely a scream. I can hear my pulse in my ears as I listen to the anguished sound. Before I realize it, I'm moving, walking slowly towards the sound. Everything inside me is telling me to do something to help that poor person. I trace the sound all the way back to the elevator and look down. It's coming from a lower floor, but I can't just leave 9. Ready to go. I can't stop myself from screaming as 9 gently touches my shoulder. I had barely heard his muffled voice behind me before I felt his touch. Sorry, did I scare you? I scramble to return my aural aux to normal setting as I take deep breaths. 100% you absolutely did. I say, taking off my arrow. 9 chuckles. Sorry. As I've said before, I have that habit. Why were you over here? I thought I heard, should I say it? Should I tell him? I think you should. Suddenly, I don't know. I gaze into 9's inscrutable green eyes for answers, but there was only a heavy shadow over them. I was just thinking about the cafeteria. Yeah, I'm a terrible liar. I don't want to lie to 9 anyway. What am I doing? The cafeteria? But you just said you heard something. Yeah. This is my stomach growling. Why am I lying? I guess there's just something in his eyes that scared me. I feel like he knows something, but I'm not sure if I want to know right now. I don't want to ask too many questions either and burden him. I know there's a lot he can't tell me. As I deliberate with myself in my head, 9's cat-like eyes study me. I feel like he's definitely onto me, but in a mild panic, I grab his arm and start dragging him down the corridor. He looks like he wants to protest, but I'm definitely using this as a distraction. I'm a pretty big eater, so I'm always thinking about food. Are we missing 3's meeting right now? Oh, crap. We need to hurry. Is running permitted in the halls? What? This isn't a high school. You don't need my permission. Then let's go. If you don't run, I'll have to drag you. I break into a run, shamelessly still holding onto 9's arm, having only the choice to fall flat on his face or join me. 9's long legs begin pumping hard to keep up. 7, it's really not necessary. I don't want to make you late to something so important. Talking uses a valuable oxygen for your muscles. 9 laughs, a lovely rich sound, but he doesn't argue with me anymore. Without another word between us, 9 and I run the rest of the way to the meeting room. We step into the room, and the first thing I notice is how many people are here. Unfamiliar eyes dart to me across from their computer screens. I can feel their judging from here. I notice one person there that isn't looking at me, though. 10 sits their feet up on the desk, eyes closed, and arms stretched behind their back. Hey, took you long enough. 9 and I turn towards 3, who's approaching us with a tablet in hand. He and 9 briefly give something like a handshake. Then his piercing eyes move to me. 7 will join us? Yes, don't worry, I got permission. 3 shrugs and walks toward the center of the room in front of the screens. Saves me time explaining, I have a mission for 7 anyway. For me, already? You're a useful woman. 3 gestures for 9 and I to sit at one of the open spaces. Welcome back to the land of freedom, by the way. My cheeks color at having my punishment mentioned in front of so many important people, but I nod as I take my seat. Let's begin the meeting then. 10 cracks open an eye. About time. My apologies. It happens anyway. 3's voice smoothly transitions from its normal, lighter tone to a more serious one. This briefing's purpose is to update all relevant phase team leaders and administration on the latest information pertaining to Kairos that we Oracles have managed to gather. Team leaders and administration. I knew it. I really shouldn't be here normally. 9 really stuck his neck out for me. 3 begins slowly pacing the room, looking at each person in the eye. After Kairos' infiltration of Phase, Kairos withdrew not only from our headquarters, but from the city completely. We managed to capture some Kairos operatives, but have been in the process of interrogating them. To explain the timeline of events that led up to this. Phase had made plans to infiltrate the Kairos base that had been found for the first time during their invasion. 3 looks down at his tablet. Long-distance heavy artillery attacks were considered, but ultimately decided against the large amount of civilian casualties that would occur. Operatives were sent out for reconnaissance, but it was found that other than Kairos defense systems and traps, Kairos seemed to have gone missing as a whole. 3 looks up, meeting everyone's eyes. The whole organization should not have been able to just vanish. We Oracles worked overtime attempting to utilize all of Phase's power to find out Kairos' new location. Additionally, our teams worked to assess the damage Kairos did to the city. 3 looks down at his tablet again. 62 civilian injuries and 11 deaths were reported as a result of Kairos actions. 19 Phase operatives casualties, 46 injured. The damage to the city itself was far more catastrophic, with over $2.2 billion in damage occurring from their attack. Repairs are still ongoing. Murmurs go up around the room, and I feel my stomach sink. I knew it was likely that innocent people had died. The city had been damaged in the attack, but I had been isolated from all of it. I was supposed to be one of the Olympians' best defenders. I was supposed to stop that, but instead I got stabbed. I clenched my fists, the leather squeaking in protest against my anger. Then I feel a hand on my shoulder. It's okay, he mouths this at me. Somehow looking at his central eyes, I just want to cry. I quickly turn my eyes back to 3. So have you found the bastards responsible for all this mess or what? Jen is leaning forward now, their hands clenched just like mine. Unfortunately, not yet. What the hell are the pink Panceras good for? I almost wanted to say pancreas, and pancreas is not right. What are they good for then? Are you even using them on the Kairos operatives? They've got to know something. They're used only when necessary in the way the Oracle see fit. You mean the way you see fit? Operative 10, please refer to Phase rules regarding meeting disruptions. 10 leans back and rolls their eyes, falling silent. Oh, go away, OneDrive, we don't need you. 3 sighs. Moving on. It may be obvious, but if Kairos should take this opportunity to launch a sneak attack, Phase will sustain even higher damages and operative losses. You're saying it'd be best to end things now. No way they'd attack. They're obviously running scared after their loss. Actually, from my analysis, I believe they've begun to regroup for their next attack. Then, it's all the more important we find them and speak with them. Arrange a face-to-face meeting and stop all this before there's any more damage or bloodshed. Still on about the pacifistic bullshit? I completely disagree. Talking to bastards that murder civilians won't get us anything except dead. Phantom Epletion there? I agree with 10. You're way too soft on Kairos 9. You sure you're even on our side? Of course I am, but fighting is what kills people. I won't back down on this. You're itching to have more numbers recommissioned, aren't you? How about we all just calm down? I agree with 9. Humans are allegedly better than animals, so we theoretically should be able to diplomacy this thing out. What do we have to lose from talking to them? If we don't like what they say, then we eat them. Then we eat them. Yes. 10, that's enough. More than enough. Oh, Marissa, go away. The blonde woman begins tapping on her tablet. If I had another strike to your record, you'll have to answer to... I apologize, Madam Parliamentarian. 10 sits back in her seat, arms crossed, eyes closed. I feel my mouth fall open as I realize that 10 just gave an apology. The blonde woman gives a faint nod. We have only 4 minutes available remaining. Please complete your briefing, Operative 3. Yes. Regardless of what path Phase ultimately chooses to deal with Kairos, the fact remains that we need to find Kairos to do anything. While we haven't been able to extract anything regarding their location from Kairos prisoners, we have found another promising lead. We have obtained a lead that suggests Kairos, Icarus, and Artemis are still on the streets recruiting. Although they must be being exceedingly cautious as we have found no trace of them. How do you know it's legit then? This lead came from our top-ranking siren, Operative 8, when a recruitment attempt was made on him personally. It's additionally been researched by Operative 6, and I've verified the information myself. 10 snorts, but doesn't say anything else. The other oracles and myself believe that if Phantom Alpha partakes in a new mission we're proposing, we should be able to obtain information pertaining to the whereabouts of Kairos. Whether through the capture of one of their high-ranking operatives such as Icarus or Artemis, or through the detainment of one of their new recruits. 3 taps on his tablet as he shifts through information. We believe Phantom Alpha's shifter and combatant team should be enough to complete the mission. We intend to initiate the mission within 48 hours, and will debrief the operatives selected for the role accordingly. 3 looks up, meeting my eyes briefly before looking at everyone else. That's all I have for you. Then, due to time constraints, I hereby call this meeting adjourned. A new meeting time will be set up if necessary for any outstanding questions or concerns. As Marissa instructs the leaders further, 10 gets up and stretches. I follow their lead and head to leave, but as I do, 10's voice stops me. Girl. I have a name. I spin around to face them. 7, was it? You'll probably be chosen tomorrow now that Rosuke has passed you. I'm honestly jealous. You might be the first one of us that really gets to fight those bastards since the invasion. So, don't fuck it up this time. I love her. I won't. I'll do everything I can. 10 claps me on the back. Hard, but I managed to keep in any sounds that wanted to leave. That's the spirit, so no mercy. And if you start to lose, 10's voice lows even more than usual. Just remember all our comrades and innocents that were murdered that night. That should see you through. I manage a small nod under the ferocity of 10's gaze. This seems to satisfy 10 enough, and they leave through the door ahead of me. I let out a long sigh and follow after them at a distance. Their last word would stay with me the rest of the night. The next day, just as 10 thought it would be, I'm called up for a mission and briefing. But I wasn't the only one. It feels like so long since I saw the both of them, I have to suppress any urge to throw my arms around them. Come on, 7. Gotta be professional and stuff. Despite my best efforts, I'm wrapped up in a hug by 5 anyway. 7, I'm so happy you're back. I'm happy to be back, 5. I feel 5 being pulled away from me before I can respawn. You can't just go around hugging other operatives. Sergeant Rosuke could be here any minute. 5 sticks out a tongue at 0 before returning his bright gaze to me. I'm looking forward to going on the mission if you're with me. 0 is so mean sometimes. 0 rolls his eyes and I giggle. I've missed you guys too. I'll do my best to protect you both. Thanks. I can protect myself. 0, stop it. But thanks. Just then a group of women moved down the hall. I happen to recognize one of them. That's the woman who talked crap about 0 and 4. Oh, let's go punch a hoe. Suyan, I think it was. Glancing at 0, I feel protective. She'd better not say anything about either of them. Yeah, bore holes into her. As they draw closer, I step in front of 0, casually blocking him from view. The woman passes in front of us, and I can feel their eyes on us. They begin to whisper to each other. I can't make out what they're saying, but oddly, they're staring at me and 5 more than 0. Suyan's eyes meet mine, and she smirks. You 3 are hard at work, huh? Good luck with your mission tomorrow. Haiyuna and her group walk away before I can say anything in response. Ugh, I can't stand how fake she is, but how does she know about the mission tomorrow? Maybe she heard it from someone present at the meeting. I turn to 0 and 5. We should get into Rosuke's office, guys. The moment of brief silence falls between us, I hear it again. Some kind of angry screaming coming from below us. I look over at 0 and our eyes meet. He hears it too. I know he does. What's wrong, guys? I think about whether or not to reveal it to 5. 0 must have enhanced hearing augs too. Of course he would. He's probably outfitted with every kind of aug there is. Don't treat me like a baby. I can tell something's wrong with you too. 5. I think about how to explain it. 0 speaks instead. Fine. It's screaming. We heard screaming. Way to put it gently. Oh. This isn't the first time I've heard it either. Do you know what it is, 0? Probably the pansias those people working. I hear stuff like this sometimes. Working? Oh. On the Kairos prisoners. Probably. I hate it. Yeah. I nod at 5's words. It's a difficult thing to discuss. It's not our place to judge their work. We all do whatever we have to in whatever way we can to help protect the country. Yeah. It's difficult to say any way is more right than the other. Fighting and killing could be said to be worse by some. Still, I can't shake the uneasiness it gives me, and it seems like 5 and 0 feel the same way. Having enough of the excitement of the corridor, we decide to go into the office to wait for Rasuke. Rasuke and 3 enter the room shortly after we do. Rasuke strides in with his frosty aura and 3 trails behind him, distracted by his tablet. It explained that the 3 of us will be going on a mission vital to discovering where Kairos has gone. 4 would normally have gone with us, but he's in solitary confinement still for his actions in saving my life that night. Oh no, poor 4. 5 will be infiltrating a recruitment meeting that 3 believes will have high-ranking Kairos operatives attending. The plan is to capture everyone and take them back to base for questioning. You know what? This random thought just came into my mind. We've never seen the reply to our email that was sent to 6. Like, at all. I thought we would have seen it at least before now. Maybe that's coming up. Maybe he'll do it in person. I don't know. If that isn't possible, then 5 has to go with them and infiltrate their base himself. My heart can't help but sink at that. But I know my teammates are counting on me, so I managed to keep it together. Since the plan is straightforward, basic, but vital, no more than 0 and I are expected to be needed. But since I am supposed to always be paired up with a tactician now, 3 and 6 will be supporting us remotely. 0 is put in charge of the mission, apparently for the first time. Really? You've earned it, don't you think? Congratulations! Thanks. After the meeting, Rasuke dismisses us, and we all shuffle off back to our rooms. Well, at least I plan to. I feel a tap on my back as I step out of sight into Rasuke's office and turn to see 3 standing there. Hey, 7. Yes? I was thinking, do you want to go get lunch in the cafeteria? There's something I want to talk to you about. Oh? Sure. I'm excited for the opportunity to get to know 3, but more than anything, I'm happy for the distraction. Curious about what 3 wants to discuss, we head off to the cafeteria. After picking up our lunches, 3 and I sit back down at the cafeteria table. 3 hangs his coat on the back of his chair and looks down at my tray. Big eater? I look down at my 2 large bowls of rice and beef compared to 3's simple ham sandwich. Usually bigger, decided to not totally pig out in front of you. 3 laughs, a hearty staccato sound. That's a good word. I appreciate the consideration, but I don't mind. I'm used to being around 0 after all, and I admire a woman who can be honest with her feelings towards food. I'll keep that in mind. So what did you want to talk to me about? In all honesty, it's more like I wanted you to talk to me. Oh, everybody wants me to talk to them. Nine mentioned to me that you were having a hard time lately. I'd be lying if I said I knew how difficult it was to adjust to phase. My father has always worked here, so I've always been in and out. But I thought because of how long I've been acquainted with Faze, I hoped the perspective could be useful to you. He did say it'd be nice to learn from somebody who is here longer. Besides that, we haven't really got to know each other. I thought being familiar with all of your teammates might make you more comfortable. Wow, 3 is really a thoughtful guy. I really appreciate that you got me so much, and taking the time out to talk to me. It makes me feel better already. You're easier to please then. Yeah, I am a pretty easy gal. Then do you have any questions for me? No beating around the bush, 7. Psyching myself up, I go in for the question I've been really wanting to ask. How do oracles gain information from someone captive? You're even more blunt than I thought. Not that it's a bad thing. 3 lowers his voice. Have you heard the screams lately? I'm surprised, but I nod, feeling sick even remembering them. I thought so. Some of the others with hearing augmentations have mentioned it. Well, that has nothing to do with oracles. That's those other people's jobs I'm not going to try. And if I had it my way, we wouldn't be using them for anything like that. Oracles attempt to interrogate just like detectives do. But if we fail to retrieve information, Faze's guidelines state that those people step in and blah blah. They use their medical expertise to physically extract information. Oh no. Yep. It's just as we thought. It's bad. In most cases, a good oracle is able to avoid that. It's rarely done, and it's only done to people who oracles are highly certain have pertinent information. But we're dealing with matters of national security. We can't afford to allow someone to kill or maim innocents at any cost. I see, that makes sense, I guess. If they got the key to a terrorist plot or something and they're withholding it from the oracles, I guess I can't blame Faze for wanting to save lives. Exactly. I still think their methods are uncouth and outdated at best, but even truth serum doesn't work on the best enemy operatives. There's no denying the effectiveness of their methods, and there's no denying that the info they retrieve has been able to save lives. But I think it's only human to be uncomfortable with it. It shows that you're a good person. It's when we become casual about it that I think there's a problem. I nod in agreement, but the mood has become dark and I want to go back to that relaxed atmosphere. I think 3 knows what I'm thinking because he speaks again with a smile on his face. Any other questions for me? You can ask me anything. There's something about the way 3 says it that makes me look up in surprise. Anything? Anything. There's so much I could ask. What should I go with? How do you emotionally deal with the job? Tell me about joining Faze. What are your hobbies? I don't want to go with hobbies. You know what? Let's go with emotionally deal with the job because that's what we are going through and what we need to learn how to do, I guess. How do you deal with the pressure of being an oracle? I keep wondering if I'm cut out for my job or not, honestly. I think that's normal. In fact, I bet that's something every single person here thinks, that every time they're up against something challenging. If you're comfortable, you're not pushing yourself, your boundaries. You didn't sign up to be comfortable, did you? No. I signed up because I wanted to help people and live an exciting life. I can do it, so I should, is what I thought. Right, I think a lot of people here feel that way. What I'm saying is that what you're feeling is normal, that you believe you can do the job for the personal reasons, and that you want to do the job for a reason. Whenever I feel stressed, I come back to those reasons, and 2 of them are the same as yours. I want to help people, and I know I can do the job. Analysis is fun for me, and I can't imagine fitting into any other class. Although I'm not out on the front lines, I know how much those guys fall apart without me. I know my job is crucial, and that I'm damn good at it. And I also try to avoid living my life too seriously. My job requires me to be in my head all the time, analyzing why things happened, thinking of the enemy's next move. So when I can, I try to live in the moment and enjoy it to the fullest. I like that way of thinking. That's how I used to be. So then you just need to get back to it, and you're golden. I nod in response, smiling back at 3. Somehow when I'm talking with him, everything seems so much clearer. 3 sighs and leans back holding his sandwich. You know, though, I'm pretty boring, honestly. Don't think so. You're like a secret agent from a wealthy family. I bet you know more of the world's juiciest secrets than most world leaders with your clearance. Olympia relies on your analysis to guide the country. Both world and team leaders in phase take action based on what you say. That just can't be boring to me. 7. Thank you. I think I might be falling in love. Huh? Please stop joking like that. I am a lazy hitch at his arm from across the table. He either doesn't bother to move or is just way too slow, and it connects. Ow, ow, ow. I can't forget that you're a top fighter for even a minute. That seriously hurt. Though I guess it's nothing compared to what the others might do if they knew what I just said. What does that mean? That's confidential. Oh no. I sigh in exasperation and stuff food in my mouth to soothe myself. Rhea is definitely an interesting person, but he seems to have a kind heart. Knowing someone like him is choosing to work here. With all he must know about FaZe after not being here is his entire life, but after learning its secrets puts my mind at ease. I feel like I'll be able to focus on the mission better tomorrow. Thanks, 3. 3 gives me a wink. Anytime. 3 and I have a nice rest of our lunch chatting about this and that. Then I go to my room to rest up before the mission tomorrow night. Things felt like they were getting back to some kind of normal, so I had no clue that that peaceful day may have been my last and final one at FaZe. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. Okay. Well, it's getting juicy, and now this is really the shortest episode so far. But we'll stop this here. We'll go into chapter 6 Monday, and then it's looking like Wednesday is going to be our last chapter before we jump into that little bit of extra that we have. So we're left on a cliffhanger. I hate this kind of cliffhanger. But with that, we're going to end here, and I will see you all again later. Bye-bye.